Hey, Sheila Abram, good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, Mr. Johnson. Good evening, good evening. I don't know if Mr. Berger can hear me. I'm on Facebook, and I'm having a challenge with my landline, so I haven't called in on the Freedom Call number. I'm just live tonight. My other line, for some reason, I'm having some kind of problem with that, and I realized all my other crew with all my other phones are out the house. Okay. And I said, Lord, I thought we had two landlines coming in here, and I got one landline coming in. That line is not operating properly. I can't get on it right now. So we got to go live today. So Mr. Berger, if you get this message, or Miss Abrams, somebody can text Mr. Berger and say, I'm not able to be on the Freedom Call conference number. So I thought I'd dial in here live anyway, and let's get us started. And if I can free that line up anytime in the next hour, next 30 minutes or so, I'm not going to be that long tonight. We'll free that lineup. So good evening, everybody. Good evening, Sharon Clark, Douglas, and Stacey Faces, Shirley, Sylvia Crusher. Good evening. Good evening. How you doing? Macedon Brown, Carolyn Barnett, Rita Harris, LaShondra, Miss Kim. How you doing? Kim Pong, Liz Frank, Wanda Lofton. Good evening to everybody. Look, tonight, I want to give people a few minutes to join us. I know I'm having some technical difficulties with my landline. With me being on the landline, so those who have called in and can't hear me is because I'm not on that line. So I would ask anyone, if you got it on speaker, if you can call into the Freedom Call line. Mr. Roddenberger is working that line for me. Feel free to call in there and put it on loud. Okay, put it on speaker or something so other people can hear it from your call, from your line. Okay. Hey, Miss Sherry Brown, good evening. Tony White, Damian Sandra, good evening to everyone. Look, I'm going to be, at least I say I'm going to be brief. I'm going to try to be brief tonight. I've been giving a lot of thought of this, especially after I've returned from Stuttgart, Germany. And, man, we're excited. Hey, Eddie Powell, Miss Maxine Jones, Carolyn, good evening to everyone. Let me tell you something, folks. So I have to stay calm tonight because, of course, I don't want to talk about anything I'm not supposed to talk about, so I have to try to make myself stay as calm as possible. But I titled this 9 Days to Freedom. Now, I really believe that. I've thought about it and thought about it and thought about it, and I truly believe that anyone in the world of Caraboss today can accomplish in the next 90 days what it's taken some people a year, 2 years, 3 years, or maybe they've never gotten done yet. But this 90 days is that critical and is that important. I'm going to tell you why. And then I want to tell you how you can take advantage of it. Good evening, Christopher, Miss Julie McKay, Greg Parker, Tony Williams. Good evening to you guys. Roz Range in the house. Miss Sonia Ford Townsend in the house. Carolyn Wilburn. Good evening, everyone. So it's really important that you understand how critical these next 90 days are. And I believe that it takes 90 days to truly launch your business off into another level. You're going to have periodic periods over and over again where you have 90 days where you do something great. Let me get to the meat of what I'm getting at. I call this a launch. I really believe in my heart right now, this is the launch, the first true launch of Carrot Bars. And I say it's a launch because everything's in order. Everything's in place. And when the company has laid out the infrastructure, got the organization, got all those things in place, and is running like a well-oiled machine. And Carrot Bars runs right now like a well-oiled machine. I mean, it's click, 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 click. Now, for those who haven't been in business, you may not understand that because you believe that everything should be perfect. No, everything, I know the most vital thing should be working properly. And those things are working properly in the world of Carrot Bars, meaning that when you order gold is shipped to you. When you expect your commission checks on Friday, they're there. And the company has consistently done this over the last 8 years. And so all that foundation has been laid, okay? And you're in the right place at the right time to take full advantage of that. Now, I say this, and I'm going to sort of back this up a little bit with a few historical points of view. Like this is coming out there, we call it a Big A. That started in 1959. And it took that company 11 years. And after 11 years, that company was doing $100 million a year in business. And that's a pretty good deal. That's a pretty good sized company. A pretty solid company. And this is history that I'm talking about. But they went from 1959 to 1970 and put together a $100 million operation. But from 1970 to 1980, they went from 100 million to $1 billion. I would say that was the launch. Oh, they did some tremendous business those first 11 years, but to go from 100 million to 1 billion over the next 10 years, that's a launch. And it launched. Okay. I'll tell you something else. They launched that same company. They went to Japan. And in 0 to 5 years, now start at 0, and 5 years later, that company is doing $1 billion of business in Japan. In 5 years. Okay. On that little tiny island of Japan. Okay. I can tell you another company called Big H. Okay, that company was started in the trunk of a gentleman's car. And it took them about 3 years. 3 years, though, to get to $100 million a year, which is actually pretty fast growth. But the fourth and fifth year, they went from 300 million to literally over 500 million in sales. So it went from 0 to 500 million. And so the company launched after that third year. They were building, putting all the things in place. But after that third year, they launched. I'm telling you these stories to understand, so you can understand where we are, where you are in the world of Carabaos right now. Some of you are experiencing tremendous growth right now because you're not thinking about the past. You're not thinking where we've been. See, no matter how fast and how great, and I'm telling you, my 5 years in Carabaos has been outstanding. But I believe, not just I believe, I know it is nothing compared to where we're going. Okay? All the infrastructure in place, all the management is in place. Okay? So these next 90 days are critical for you to give it everything you got. Hey, Mr. Al McGallister, I'm telling you, these next 90 days are critical. Okay? For you taking full advantage. It's not just the launch of the company and to $1 billion, multi-million operation. It's the launch of your business into a multi-million dollar enterprise that functions worldwide. Now, here are the factors, what I call why the next 90 days are so critical. I want to call these the launching tools. This next 90 days, you're going to have all these launching tools at your hand. But you do understand, a tool is only as good as the person using that tool. If you don't take advantage of those tools, then the tool's no good. Now, tool number one, I said the launching tools. Tool number one, it's a tool. This a tool don't have anything to do with. This is the marketplace. Understand that September, October, November are the fastest growing months in the history of networking every single year. I talked about this the other day. Okay, it's not like we're guessing here. We know what's going to happen. It's like the people been playing throughout the summer, going to the beach, going to holidays, kids' graduation, all that stuff. All those major distractions take place in June, July, and August. They take place. Around September, people start to refocus on the agenda. Start to refocus. They start to think about things like Christmas, and I got to have money for the Christmas holidays. Not us in Wealth Builders Worldwide. We're not there, but the general population is there. Okay? And so because that attitude of the general population, because that seriousness that takes place in the fall harvest time for farmers, people, it's genetically in our brain that we get serious about life September, October, November. And we run hard, no matter what it is, no matter what business it is, we run hard in that business September, October, November. Some companies, some retail companies, do all their volume, do 80, 90% of their volume in September, October, November for the whole year. So it's not just networking. It's critical. It's a business cycle you need to understand. So that's in your favor. I hope you hear me. That's in your favor. Okay? The launching, the fall momentum. The second thing, on top of that fall momentum, then we're going to do what? We add some sauce to that fall momentum. When I say we, I mean we as in Carabaos. Okay? All the events that are planned for the next 90 days. You got the Carrot Net Tour that's taking place, I think, in 11 different countries. Now, how do you capitalize on that? You're always talking with people on your team, and you're always letting them know there's a meeting taking place in Bogota. There's a meeting taking place in Brazil. There's a meeting taking place in England. You understand, you've got to think bigger than your city. Think big. Think how big this thing is worldwide. That's what you want to have going on in your mind in reference to this business. You want to see this. That's a tool. It's a tool when you utilize it proper. Some of you see your business in your neighborhood. You think about all the people you know in your neighborhood. You don't understand. You can tell somebody about the business in New York, and they can share with somebody in North Carolina, and they can share with somebody in Nigeria, who can share with somebody in Ghana, who can share with somebody in South Africa, who can share with somebody in Australia. And before you know it, your business is all over the world. Limitless is our theme for Let's Go Weekend. We've got to get this limitless thinking. and start thinking the impossible. Start thinking about things that don't make any sense. Make your dream, as J. Paul Getty said, so big that it's impossible to accomplish in one lifetime. Carry that. You got all these local events, Super Saturdays, all these local events taking place all throughout the month of September. And they're going to be taking place in October, November as well. But you want to capitalize on it right now in the month of September. Event taking place in Houston. You got the DMV doing their Super Saturday this weekend at the DMV. That's taking place. We got a meeting right here in Hampton, Virginia at the Spring Hill Marriott's on Sunday afternoon. There are events taking place. Go to wealthbuildersworldwide.info. Look at that event calendar and work that tool. You can't be everywhere. But if you understand how to work that tool, you can invite people to events all over this country, all over this world. But you can't do it if you're not plugged in and you don't know what's on the calendar. Okay? You got daily events taking place every single day. All these are tools to add to what we already have going on. Hey, good evening, Miss Deborah Best Baker, my sister. She down there on a cruise somewhere, and she's on the Freedom Call. Well, glad to see you up there. Hey, good evening, Mr. Michael Delco, some other folks who joined us, Mr. Rodney Roach, Rosalind Benjamin. Good evening, good evening, Ron, Gail Turner, HU in the house. Good evening to you. So, I mean, it's important. This fall moment is critical. So you can, you may not understand how important 1 day or 1 minute or 1 hour is, but I'm telling you, every single time that you are not investing in this business, it's costing you a fortune. You don't know it. Hey, good evening, Darlene Best, my baby sister. She's on a Freedom Call tonight, too. So local events, the daily events, the power calls every day. I know you can't make a power call every day. That's why we do them every day. I make them every day. I mean, I might have missed 2 or 3. Well, I missed someone I had my heart attack, 4 or 5. I bet I've missed less than 10 power calls, but I'm free, in the last 5 years. Okay? Do I need a power call every day? I think I do. Because every day I learn something. I hear something, I pick up something, or I get inspired by one of you. Get on the power call. And then the ultimate tool you have, I pray and I hope that you understand the power of this tool, and that's Let's Go Weekend. Let's Go Weekend. That Thursday, actually, we start on Thursday, but that Thursday, the Academy Awards ceremony on Friday and Saturday, that's a life-changing event. It's the event that's going to instill the belief in you. It's going to put the energy in you. It's going to drive you to do more than you've ever done. I mean, and this past weekend in Stuttgart, Germany is an example to me. Okay, to me. Because I truly didn't believe I could get any more excited. I mean, I've been excited since the day I started in Carabass. I've been flat out turned on, running 100 miles an hour. I said, I can't get any more excited. You can't make my belief. I mean, I've gotten paid every single Friday from the first Friday I got in November 2013. You can't make my belief any higher. You can't solidify my belief anymore. You can't make me, I'm like, why do I need to go to Stuttgart, Germany? Okay. Well, number one, because Mr. Harold Sykes asked us to come. Number two, Mr. Delco said, Tyrone, you ought to be in. Mr. Delco, that's right. Mr. Delco said, Tyrone, go to. I'm like, oh, wow. I went out the phone and told Val I'm going. And let me tell you something, folks. I look back and said, oh, my God. I believe I was negative and didn't realize I was negative. That's right. The leader, I'm telling you, I was negative and didn't realize I was negative because I'm not real comfortable traveling. I want to go out the country. I had all those things. But sometimes it says success is what? On the other side of your comfort zone. And I said, I got to do what I'm asking other people to do. I don't want to travel. I don't want to walk through airports. I don't want to go through security. Okay? And I'm free enough not to have to do that. But sometimes you got to do the things you don't want to do, even if you are free. And don't want to preach on that. I'm getting too excited. Because let me tell you something. From the moment I the Stuttgart, Germany, I started switching attitude. Okay? I read 3 books all the way to Germany. By the time I got there, by the time I got there and spent time, I mean, you spend the time in the presence of 2 billionaires, man, I'm telling you, your dream can't help but be expanded. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you, it expanded me. I could not believe what I learned. Okay, that I could actually get more excited. I could actually be more committed. I could actually get more focused. I didn't think it was possible. But believe me, I learned that I could still grow. I knew there's a lot more for me to learn. That's not the question. I knew that's why I read all the time. But I just didn't believe I could get any more gut level excited, any more emotionally involved in what's going on here in the world of Karatbars. I didn't believe I could get any more committed to change people's lives than I already was before I got there. And I'm going to tell you something. When I got there with another 150 to 200 leaders, including the staff in the world of Karatbars, man, it changed me on a whole molecular, cellular level that I never thought was possible. Okay? My commitment, if it was a 10, it's now 20. If it was a 20, it's now 30. Whatever it was, it's double what it was before I went. And I'm so glad that I went. And why am I telling you? Because that's the way you're going to feel about Let's Go Weekend. If it's your first Let's Go Weekend, if you're listening to this call and you've never been, I don't care what you got to do. Move heaven and earth to get there. Sell a car. Do what you got to do to be at Let's Go Weekend. Okay? It's a tool. And when you add that tool with all the other tools you got, all the events taking place, okay, along with the fall momentum, and then, oh my gracious, all the incentives that Karatbars has in store, all the things that we can't even tell you about that Dave told us, that's another reason I can't. You understand, I can sit here unequivocally and say to many of you on this call, I don't know, maybe not all of you, but to many of you, I can say, when Mr. Harold Seitz said, we're going to create 20,000 billionaires in the next 24 months, I'm telling you, millionaires, excuse me, not billionaires, millionaires, some billionaires, but millionaires, 20,000 in the next 2 years. Let me tell you something, it is done. Some of you don't even understand. You're already a millionaire right now. You just don't have the cash to go out and buy all the stuff. You got it right now. You have the assets right now that are worth more than $1 million to you right now. You don't even know it. You need to start walking in that evidence right now. Start walking that truth right now, because I'm telling you, it's nothing but the truth. You're a millionaire right now, and you don't know it. Okay? And I can't tell you why. That's God Almighty. I shouldn't get excited about it. Anyway, I want to stay professional tonight. Okay, all these things that are going to hit. Now think about what you already know about. Okay, think about what you already know about. Number one, okay, this fall, because the consumer is going to have in their hand the K1 phone. You understand, that is a product that doesn't exist anywhere in the marketplace, and that's one of the products in the $4 trillion industries that we're involved in, because you have a Karatbars, you're a Karatbars independent affiliate. One of them. It is state of the art, totally privacy completely, totally encrypted, okay? And it will be, you've seen people standing in line overnight to buy the iPhone. What do you think is going to happen with the iPhone? And by the way, we have already, I don't want to get into that, I don't know if that's proprietary information or not, but that's what tens of thousands of K1 phones have already been ordered. Oh my God. And they're not in the consumer's hands yet. They will be in the next 30 or so days. Think about that. In the next few weeks, our blockchain will be introduced. Our blockchain will be introduced. Okay? We already got our cash gold exchange machine. See, there's all this going to the fall momentum. Going to the fall momentum. Okay? So you had all those things. You got the fall momentum, that's a tool. You got all the events, that's a tool. You got the CaratNet tour, that's a tool. You got the daily events, that's a tool. You got the weekend events, that's a tool. You got the power call, that's a tool. You got all these things are tools. And this is why so many people coming into Karatbars every single day. We're right there at the crest of that tipping point that Malcolm Gladwell talks so much about. And then the last tool. Okay, I don't want to talk about the product, because I don't want to say something I'm not supposed to talk about. Man, we got just step out on faith and run. Okay? I've been saying, go back and listen to any of my audio messages. Back when we first got started in 2013, 2014, 2015, you know what I said all the time? I said, I don't care how much gold you have, you're going to wish you had more. I said that it's prophetic, and I don't know why, not that it's just numbers. No matter how much gold you have, you're going to wish you had more. You're going to wish you'd acquired more when it's $1,100 an ounce. Then it went to $1,150, then it went to $1,200, then it went to $1,300, then it went to $1,400, and you're going to wish you had more. And now I think the day is at $1,556 an ounce. And I have people always saying, I wish I had saved more 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I said, right, but wait a minute, it hasn't peaked out. You need to get all the gold you can now, because you're going to wish you had more a year. No, forget a year. 6 months from now, you're going to wish you had more. And then 6 months after that, you're going to wish you had more. It's there. Okay? All this happening in the marketplace right now. Then the last two I want to talk about is, one more time, I'm going to tell you one more time. I believe this is such a game changer. I believe the John Maxwell book is such a game changer. I'm telling you, it's such a game changer. I believe this book is going to put millions of people. Okay, I'll be surprised if this book doesn't sell 1 million, 2 million, 3 million copies itself. Okay, because you're talking about some 12 to 13 million networkers in this country, 20 million they say around the world. That means 20 million out of a planet of 7.5 billion around the world in this profession, creating $200 billion a year in sales. That means they don't know what we're doing. This book will tell those neophytes, it'll tell those professionals, it'll tell those people who say, I'm doing okay, I don't need networking, I'm doing okay, I'm doing all right. This book, if their mind is anywhere concerned about another human being besides themselves, they cannot read this book and not find a networking company to get involved in. I believe it's impossible for a balanced, concerned human being who's concerned about somebody other than himself can read this book, because this book tells what the essence of what we do is all about. And it's not necessarily about the gold. It's not necessarily about the crypto. It's not necessarily about some lotion or potion or pill or legal service or long distance service. It's not. It's about connecting with people, inspiring people, and helping people change their life and becoming the best person they possibly can become. That's what it's always been about. That's what motivated me. And yes, when you do that, you're going to get paid well. When you become a person that can move a person up a level of excellence, when you become a person that can inspire a person to do more than they would do by themselves, you're going to make a fortune. This is what it's not. It's about living a life of significance, but life significance, and it's about you doing that, chasing that dream with other people. Okay, get that book. Get out and look. Let me help you out a little bit, folks. Because every time somebody say to me, I got mine. Every time somebody say to me, I got mine, my mind just freaked. This is Alicia called. I'm going to tell you the truth. I just freak out. I don't say anything because I'm not trying to embarrass you. I'm not trying to argue. See, I don't want to be teaching all the time where I feel like I'm just driving people crazy. But this is a call. So this is the one you can hang up on, not be on. Listen to me. When you got one book, you got one book for you. So I guess if that's the only person on your team that needs to be fed, that needs to know what you know, then one book can suffice. But if you're going to build an organization, you need more than one book. Just common sense. If you're going out doing meetings and you got one book for you, how are you going to feed the rest of your team? It's like you got a house full of kids and you go out and buy yourself dinner and say, I hope they do okay. That don't work. You got to feed the family. I'm not saying you got to give the books for them, but at least have the book available from the purchase. If you're the leader, get more than one. Don't say I'm the leader, I got mine. Okay? Now you know how I feel when you say, I got mine. I ordered mine. Okay, I got me one. That's okay. I mean, you do the best you can do. If you can only get one, get one. Okay? But don't announce it to your team that you got one. Okay? Get one for you if that's where you got to roll. But I wouldn't announce to the team I got one. You're trying to set the example. You're trying to get a lot for your team. Okay? Right then, man, look, you understand that? I went to Stuttgart, Germany. See, I'm telling you, I believe what I'm talking. I went to Stuttgart, Germany with a suitcase, a large suitcase, okay? Dr. Patrice and Lisa tell you, full of books and CDs. And and I had about 25 or 30 of these when I got off the plane in Stuttgart, Germany. Because I bought them for whom? I bought them for my leaders to have and to buy from me. Some of them I gave away and some of them gave me $20 for them. Fantastic. I appreciate it. It helps offset the cost for those I might give away. Okay, I said, I believe that the team, the company, the organization that understands the power of this book, going to put hundreds of thousands of people in their business just like that. Boom. It's going to happen just like that. Whoever understands the full power, whatever organization understands the full power of this book, I know I'm going off on it again because I believe it's that powerful. But I got to tell you, what happened was I'm in Stuttgart, Germany, and I see this beautiful young lady. And she's sitting there with 3 of these in her hand. I said, whoa. Because I'm like, I thought my team was going to be the first. I thought our team was going to, well, we're the ones with this book, man. She had this book. She said, Tyrone, you so sweet. Southern accent. She said, look, Tyrone. She said, I'm one of John Maxwell's master trainers. I said, oh, no, you didn't. And then she opened the book and she had a personal copy by John Maxwell himself. I said, oh, give me that book. I snatched out of her hand. So she had 3 of them. I said, I'll buy one right now. She said, oh, no, Tyrone, give me back that book. I've already promised these to somebody else, but I will get you your personal autograph copy from John Maxwell, and I will send it to you. I said, wow. But she had books not just for her. She had other books in her hand for her team. I had the same thing. I bought those books at Stuttgart, Germany. I bought The Dream Chaser, Stuttgart, Germany. I bought CDs, Stuttgart, Germany. And by the way, I gave, anyway, people left with a bunch of stuff. When they came into my hotel room, they got some tools. They got some stuff. They got The Dream Chaser. They got John Maxwell. They got some CDs. They got some stuff. Anyway, put all these tools, folks, next 90 days. Now, what do you got to do next 90 days? I got to finish up here. What do you got to do next 90 days? You got to go into massive action mode like you've never done before. Look, when they finish the little private counseling session, with the leadership council, they finished that session. 15 minutes into the session, I understood what needed to be done. When they finished the private session where they all had to sign a non-disclosure agreement, I knew what had to be done. Okay? I mean, all the information is coming out, all the new stuff coming out, man. It's incredible what's going to come out. But what we have to do in the field is the same thing I've been saying for 5 years. And I'm going to say it one more time, just for those who don't get it. Save all the gold you can. That's number 1. Save all the gold you can. Period. Every time you go, take some discretionary income and do something else with it, just understand you could be saving gold. Get all the cryptocurrency backed by gold. You can. All, not some, all. And every time you take some discretionary income, okay, or go do something else with it, like I don't care what you do with it, but it's not the rent, the mortgage, the light bill, the gas bill, the water bill, and food, and your car note, then you're stealing from your future fortune. I'm just telling you right now, that's the way it is. Okay? Get all the cryptocurrency you can. And then the most important thing to do is to build your team. Okay? I'm talking to the person who's not just getting coins, sitting back watching. I'm talking to the person who says, get all the gold. Not just the gold, the cash gold. Why you want to get the cash gold? Because you want to have that cash gold stacked up and saved. So as Caraboss introduce all these dynamic things over the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, you're in a position to take care of it, and it's easy to pay for it with cash gold through Carrot Pay. Okay? It's just that simple. So get all the gold, you save all the gold you can, cash gold. Okay? Got it? Everybody got it. Thank you, Mr. Delco, for that. Reminding me. Stay on the cash gold. Oh, by the way, because you should be on auto save anyway for 1 gram of what? The classic gold, at least 1 gram a month. Okay? At least. Just play the game. Play team. Okay? Ask yourself, I was listening to my CD yesterday morning called In Search of Leaders. And I made the statement, I said, if everyone on your team did exactly what you did, what would your team look like? Not going to get off track. Okay? Sponsor, talk to everyone. Everyone. You want everyone to know. See my new cap? It said, Caraboss, get paid to save gold. Man, what a day for the first time. Everywhere I went, people said, okay, how do I get paid? I don't know, that just that little sentence. So I've had Caraboss, I've had free gold, I've had free gold ask me how. I don't know how. Sometimes we get out of touch with what moves people. Those 2 words right there. Get paid to save gold. All of a sudden, everybody can read it. How do I get paid? They ain't thinking about Caraboss. They ain't really thinking about gold. What they think about is get paid. They read right there, get paid. Okay? I'm talking to everybody. I give cards to everybody. I give out 5 or 10 cards, 15, 20 cards every single day. I give out CDs, everything. I'm talking to everything that moves. Because just like I said, you're going to wish you had more gold. You're going to wish you had more cryptocurrency. You're going to wish your team was bigger. I don't care how many people on your team right now, you're going to wish it was bigger. And I say this all the time. I'm going to close with this. I'm going to be finished. I'm going to get off because I know I'm not. I hope some folks can hear me on the conference call after they got it. But I'm going to tell you something. I use this example all the time. Why it's so critical that your team, you get the team as big as you possibly can. You have a sense of urgency about building your team. Because let's say we experience 10 times growth for the next 12. Let's just say we hit momentum and go into 10 times growth. Well, your base, whatever size your team is, that's your base number. So if you got 10 people on your team and we go 10-fold over the next 12 months, your group can go from 10 people to 100. But if you got 100 people on your team and we grow 10 times, your team can go from 100 to 1,000. And that's great. But if you got 1,000 on your team and we have 10 times growth, it goes from 1,000 to 10,000. Do you see how critical every single person you add to your organization is? I mean, there's such a big difference from the base of a base of 100 and a base of 1,000. 100 turns to 1,000. 1,000 turns to 10,000. Now, if you already got 10,000 on your team, you blink. And next year this time, you got 100,000 people on your team. For those who already got 100,000, they're going to blink and have 1 million people in the downline next 12 to 24 months. That's what's at stake here, folks. People ask me, why do I do this thing? Tired, exhausted. I'm tired. I want a nap right now. I've been wanting a nap. Anybody who talked to me this afternoon, heard me all afternoon, said I'm going home and take a nap. Well, I still have not taken that nap yet. Because I was doing everything I can, texting people, posting people, getting them on this, Freedom Call. Now. Oh, and by the way, at 11 o'clock, Miss Tanisha Glassby does what? She does the launch party at 11 o'clock. And Miss Glassy Brown do the launch party at 11 o'clock tonight. For those new people who are here for the first time, who wonder, what do I do next? What do I do next? Good evening, Miss Linda Hanna. How you doing? George Alexander, Cayman Johnson, Kason Johnson, and Miss Renee Gant. Good evening. And so, folks, I hope you understand this next 90. I know I talk about 90s all the time, but this next 90 days is your 90-day run to freedom. I truly believe. I'm not trying to hype it up to you. I'm just why I tried to logically break down all these things that are going on that you may not have the experience to understand. And then I want to end with one last thing I want to tell you about. God knows, I mean, the time just gets away from me when I start telling these stories, but it's important for you to understand these things. I've been in this for 35 years. Okay? You may not understand how rare it is to find what we call in this industry a home. A place you can call home. A networking company you can call home. Okay? It's the most difficult thing you may ever do in this industry. Okay? And I'm telling you this for a reason. I'm trying to make it make sense real quickly. I spent my first 10 years in this industry in one company. Actually, 12 years. One company. I called it home. Okay? Then I got another company. I've been looking for what you call a home for the last, from 12th year to 19 years in the industry, looking for a home. I would say I spent 6 years from that 12th year, okay? Well, no, that's 20 years. I take that back. That's 20 years. Because let's say I left that company in 1990, 95, 96. 95, really, okay? And that means that it was 20 years. After 10 years, it was almost 19 years before I found another company I could call home. You should be proud of the fact that Carabas is here 8 years. I'm going to tell you something. There are very few companies in this industry that have survived 5 years, much less 8 years, much less 10 years. There's only a handful of companies in this industry where thousands are created thousands are launched every single year. And there's probably less than 10 of them that have gotten past the 10-year mark. When you can find a place you can call home, okay, man, that's how you build an organization of 10, 20, 30, 40,000 people, 50,000 or 100,000, because it takes time. Carabas is the second company I've ever been able to truly call home for more than 2 years. And on November this year, that means in less than 90 days, okay, we can proudly say that we've been in Carabas 6 years. That's the second longest run I've had in any company in 35 years in this industry. That's what you have in your hands. This is not a time to look to the left, not a time to look to the right. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. You haven't started to hear any noise yet. Ignore the noise. I think that's Dominic Carey's book. Ignore the noise. Okay? I can tell you that coming out to talk about the Big A have been getting noise since 1980. We're talking about 35 years of nothing but noise. Noise, 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 noise. Laughing at it. People laughing about it, don't understand it, talking about it, all kinds of negative. And still last year did $10 billion of business. Federal Trade Commission tried to take them down. Television tried to take him down. 60 Minutes tried to take him down. The general public tried to take him down. They make jokes. They make humor. They all kinds of stuff about that company. They laugh about selling soap. And still they did $10 billion in business last year in spite of the noise. Okay? People laughed at Herbalife for a long. In spite of the noise, did $1 billion in business last year. People still run around laughing at Mary Kay. $1 billion corporation. Man, ignore the noise. Okay? When you lock arms with people like Dr. Harold Seitz and Joseph Haidt, okay, who are dedicated and have laid out a vision that you can't even begin to understand for the next 10, maybe 20, maybe 30 years, you start to hear about all this stuff, it's going to blow your mind. And you realize these long-term incentives, the watches, the Mercedes, the $1 million villas, they're real. And somebody in your family is going to earn those things. Somebody in your family is going to get those things. All you got to do is stay focused and don't let anybody steal your dream. Capitalize on this next 90 days. And don't spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes trying to convince somebody. Karatbars does not need to be defended. Karatbars does not need to be proven. Don't anybody lock you in some corner. You got the cookie. Understand something. Okay? The company's already shipped out millions of dollars of gold, paid out millions of dollars commission. You got it. And you own it. And you have it. And you know something that the general public don't know. This is the greatest business perhaps this industry has seen in the last 20 plus years. And it's unlike anything else out there. There isn't anything. I got the experience to tell you. You can go do the research your own, but I got the experience to tell you. Okay? There isn't any other company on the planet like Karatbars. There isn't any other CEO on the planet that has the heart, the compassion, and the genuine concern about people like Dr. Harold Seitz. Doesn't exist. I've met enough, been with enough, played with enough of them. I know. Okay? We're unique in every way. And there is no competition for what we do. So I want to encourage you to think limitless. I want you to think limitless. I said the other night that your dream should be to earn $1 million a year in Karatbars. If you're on this leadership call tonight and you're not thinking and believing for $1 million a year income, your dream's too small. I'm not guaranteeing you're going to get it, but you need to be thinking about that right now, that you're going to make $100,000 a month in Karatbars. That's what you're going to do. Why? Because there are already people in Karatbars that earn that kind of income right now. Okay? And I'm telling you, we're just launching. To God be the glory, folks. Thank you for your time. I apologize for the telephone difficulties we had tonight. But look, it's a great day. Everything's fantastic. I can't wait to see everybody this weekend. I can't wait to be in Memphis the following weekend. Of a ball. So peace out. Dream big. Dream and believe. Thank you, Mr. Rodney Berger, for all you do. Thank you, Mr. Laban, for all you do. Guys, see you tomorrow morning. Oh, wait a minute. See you on the launch party in a few minutes. I don't even know what time it is. See you on the launch party in a few minutes with Miss Nisha Glassby. Especially for those who are brand new. Get on the launch party. Learn what it's all about. God bless. Bye-bye.